This is just going to be a quick review of the Shatter 2" by 4" 6 LED work lamps that I bought off of Amazon. They're pretty much the Amazon or eBay special version of rigid dualies, and these in particular are the spot pattern. They have both flood and spot, although there's probably not that much of a difference. But anyway, these lights I purchased for about $20 on Amazon, and I'm actually really pleased with them. So to start with, they've got a cast aluminum casing, and they call it a shatter resistant front glass, so it's held up okay. They're pretty low down to the road. And if we look behind them, you can see they have a mounting bracket. I just have these mounted to a piece of angle iron, and you can reverse the bracket to give it more angle of rotation. You can see the LED chips down in there. There's one on the other side here. And I'm actually really pleased with the output of this light. I know it's nothing like what you would expect out of a high dollar name brand light, but for my purposes it's plenty enough light. It's right around 5,000 to 6,000 Kelvin, so it's white light with just a tint of blue. And I'm really happy with them. The only shortcoming that you may have with these lights is right down in here where it seals. Online on the review pages there have been some complaints of water getting in or condensation getting in and ultimately shorting out the lights. But if you're concerned about this, you can take the faceplate off the lights and run a bead of silicone. I actually have not had to do this. Mine have held up to the weather pretty well, and they've had, like I said, direct hits right in storms and spray coming off the highway, so I think for the time being I'm just going to leave them alone. It's obviously daylight out here, so you can't really get a view of what they look like at night, but that will be the second part of this video. I'll back up a little bit so you can see them. Got them installed on the front there. And they give pretty good range. I wouldn't call it excellent. It's not a long range or pencil beam light by any stretch, but it'll definitely light up the way in front of you. So, the second part of this video will show what they look like in the dark. Alright, we are obviously back outside in the dark with the lights on. Hopefully this will give you a good idea of what the spot beam pattern does for you. As opposed to a flood beam, the spot beam is narrower. As you can see, they're both pointing in pretty much the same direction. Those bushes are probably 25 to 30 feet away, and as you can see, it lights them up really, really well with a nice bright white crisp light. As we get down closer to the lights, the beam spreads a little bit, but that's to be expected. And although these are considered auxiliary lights, you probably would not want to drive with them on a busy road. They're definitely for off-road use or rural use, because if we turn around here, you can see that they're so bright that the camera doesn't actually pick up the individual lights. It's just one big blob, and that's what it looks like if you're oncoming traffic to these babies. So you definitely don't want to run these in an area where you're going to run across a lot of people, or hook them up to a switch where you can flip them on and off real quick. So these are definitely a very good purchase if you're looking for some cheap auxiliary lighting. They definitely won't get you as good of a quality as the rigids or other more expensive brands. But for $20, they definitely have my vote. They have solid construction, haven't had any issues with that. They're very versatile in their mounting because you can flip the bracket over and mount it on pretty much any flat surface, or you can turn it around and mount it vertically. And because the light output is actually really good. It's a heck of a lot better than standard headlights, so they've got my vote.